Week 3 starts and sits, the trade you're afraid to make, and an appearance from Julius Thomas. Yeah, Week 3 of Keepers starts right now. Welcome to Keepers, I'm Matt Ufford, and I'm here to guide you through Week 3 of your fantasy football season, which is good news for you because everyone you drafted is either injured or suspended. Let's dig in. Start Brandon Cooks. He had a quiet Week 2 on the road, but remember that the Saints offense is an entirely different animal in the Superdome. Cooks' speed goes to 11 on that Superdome turf, and with no Mark Ingram in the lineup, expect Sean Payton to lean on the short passing game even more. It'll be a good week for Cooks. Sit Roddy White. He's on a short week dealing with hamstring and knee ailments, and while I cherish his lively appearance on the show last week, I don't like betting on offensive efficiency in Thursday night games. Start Trent Richardson? Am I reading this right? No, that's what it says, Trent Richardson. Listen, I'm not gonna tell you that Richardson is due to break out. He's not. Or better than Ahmad Bradshaw. He's not. But the Jaguars are really bad. They've been torched for 75 points in their last 6 quarters. And while I could easily tell you to make a safe play by starting T.Y. Hilton or Reggie Wayne, I prefer to live life a little dangerously. So yeah, start Trent Richardson. Let's burn this whole place down. Sit Percy Harvin. Ugh, this breaks my heart because I love Percy, but I have to believe that the Broncos have been game planning to stop Harvin ever since he embarrassed them in the Super Bowl. I love his big play ability, but his floor in Week 3 is way lower than I'd like. Start Stevan Ridley. Coming off a big game in Week 2, Ridley gets to face a Raider defense that can't stop anyone on the ground, and he'll get plenty of carries once New England builds a huge lead. As long as he hangs onto the ball, he'll have a big day. Sit Justin Hunter. I was bullish on him last week and he kind of no-showed against the Cowboys. Now the Titans are on the road against a fierce Cincy defense. I'll always like his upside, but I just don't think he's a safe play this week. Start Joik Bell against Green Bay. Without B.J. Raji anchoring the middle of the defense, the Packers are susceptible to physical between the tackles runners. The Lions are going to want to keep the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands, and Bell is going to be the main beneficiary. Sit Matt Forte if you have enough depth at running back. He had a quiet game against San Francisco's tough run D, while the Bears' big wideouts had a success against overmatched secondary. Well, the Jets have a better run defense than the 49ers and a worse secondary. I think there's a very good chance that Forte disappoints this week. And now, here's Julius Thomas via Skype on Xbox to make his case for your starting lineup.
This is Julius Thomas, tight end of the Denver Broncos. And you should definitely start me in Week 3 this week. We got a good game coming up. I've been working as hard as I can all offseason to be the best tight end I can be. It's going to take a great individual effort and a great team effort for us every week to get to our goal, and that's being champions. So start me this week, and I promise you the best individual effort I can have.
We got some great responses on Twitter about whether to start Orange Julius, and many of them pointed to Antonio Gates' big day against Seattle. Callie said, "After last week, I fully expect Manning to not be as conservative with his tight ends and wide receivers. Rivers exposed the Seahawks. Start Julius." And the Falcoholic hit us with the hardest truth there is. He said to start Thomas because the tight end position is a cold, dark moonscape devoid of life and joy. Dang. Harsh, but fair. Next week, we'll have Randall Cobb on the show. If you want to see an early cut of that, you can follow SB Nation on Twitter or me, @Matt Ufford. Last week I made some great calls, but let's address the elephant in the room. I said to sit Antonio Gates against Seattle, who promptly caught 7 for 96 and 3 scores. I was super wrong and I feel like an a-hole about it, but also, don't act like that was something that could have been predicted. The Seahawks shut down Jimmy Graham twice last year, Vernon Davis twice, Julius Thomas in the Super Bowl. I don't think anyone had big expectations for the 34-year-old with a hamstring injury. So don't give me that "thanks for telling me to sit Gates" on Twitter thing. It's like, why didn't you predict that earthquake? Come on, I'm a systems analyst, not a precog. Buy low on Wes Welker and sell high on James Jones. Did I say to cut ties with Welker a week or 2 ago? Maybe, yeah, but if you've got a PPR league and a hole at wideout, you can get Welker now for a song, and not even a good song. You can get Welker for like a Kesha track. That's good value, and one less Kesha song on your computer. As for Jones, if you can find someone who loves that he scored in consecutive games and dropped a $112 on Houston, maybe didn't see him fumble twice on the same play, go ahead and flip him. It's only a matter of time before reality sets in that Derek Carr and not Aaron Rodgers is the guy throwing to him. Buy low on Ben Roethlisberger and sell high on Darren Sproles. Don't get me wrong, I love Darren Sproles, and you're not going to find a bigger proponent of the Eagles offense than me. But his terrific games against Indy and Jacksonville, two of the league's worst defenses, is a great opportunity to exchange him for a bona fide fantasy stud. This is the highest his stock is going to be all season. As for Big Ben, there's nothing impressive about 1 touchdown and 2 picks through 2 games, but he's got a couple of banged up wideouts who will only get healthier. More importantly, with Pittsburgh's shaky D, the Steelers will ultimately find themselves airing it out more often than not. Don't worry about the slow start. Roethlisberger will rack up yards and touchdowns. Hire Andrew Hawkins and fire Riley Cooper. Through 2 weeks, Hawkins has been targeted 22 times. Here is a list of people with more targets: Jimmy Graham, Calvin Johnson, Jordy Nelson, and Steve Smith. Of those, only Nelson and Graham have more catches. Hawkins is an easy start in PPR leagues, and the lack of options in the Browns offense will keep him relevant for most of the season. And Cooper, well, 5 catches on 10 targets for 34 yards in 2 games where the Eagles scored 30 or more points. His only real worth is the deep passing game, so you're going to get the occasional great game with long droughts in between. Plus, you know, the Kenny Chesney concert thing. Go with someone more reliable. Hire Larry Donnell and fire Ladarius Green. With Victor Cruz dropping passes left and right, Donnell's been the most reliable option in the Giants' passing game through 2 games. Grab him before somebody else does. Green remains an immense talent, but Antonio Gates made it resoundingly clear that he's not stepping out of the way just yet. Green isn't worth keeping on your bench unless you own Gates and like the idea of a tight end handcuff. And please, do not go to Urban Dictionary and search tight end handcuff. That is all for week 3 of Keepers. This was fun, right? Let's do it again soon. Set your lineups. See you next week. Hey, thanks for watching this SB Nation video. If you liked it, do us a solid and click that thumbs up button. And for more from SB Nation, subscribe to our channel. And while you're at it, how about watching one of these videos over here? Come on, what else are you doing today? Click it. Go.